boy, baby. This Stanley Cup Finals is going to be a doozy. What I wanted to do in this video was go over Connor McDavid and some of the latest updates from the comments that he had recently made to his status during practice, because yes, there are some things that were maybe a little tiny, teensy-weensy bit concerning for Oilers fans. You know, okay, look, a lot of people say they want to get the bad news first before the good news. Let's talk about the quote-unquote bad news, and you can decide whether or not this really is news in the first place. Ryan Rishaug, TSN, went out there and tweeted this, that Connor McDavid, earlier this morning, had a word with training staff and left practice early today. The rest of the group is still out there. Now, there were a whole bunch of replies to this tweet saying things like, "Oh, Ryan, trying to ruin my Sunday now, aren't you? Why are you going out there and reporting this? What are you talking about? Why are you making this tweet?" Etc., etc., etc. There's a lot of people that seem to be upset with the mere fact that this was tweeted out. But, you know, it is a pretty big story. If Ryan Rishaug is watching the practice and he notices that, yeah, it's pretty decent news if a player ends up leaving practice before the scheduled finishing time, and it's even bigger news if that player is Connor McDavid, and the practice is 3 days before Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. That is a story here. Whether or not it's a big story, that remains to be seen. Whether or not there's more than meets the eye here, that remains to be seen. Hopefully, Connor McDavid is just taking some sort of a maintenance step away from practice type of thing. It's not like he's hurt or whatever. Hey, best case scenario, he just needed to go use the bathroom, go all Roberto Luongo on that toilet there, and he needed to leave practice in order to get that done. Who knows? Okay, all toilet humor jokes aside, Connor McDavid leaving practice early isn't ideal, but of course, we just have to wait and see. Is there any extra context there? Are there more updates that we will have in the coming days that explain this? Will McDavid leave tomorrow's practice? Who really knows? Is there even a practice tomorrow? For what it's worth, Chris Knoblauch said that McDavid has no issues. He will be ready for Game 1. So maybe that's all you need, right? Do you believe the head coach of the Stanley Cup finalist Edmonton Oilers team? I sure hope so, although I can understand if you don't. Nothing against Chris Knoblauch personally, but hey, how many times have we seen head coaches and players lie about certain things during the Stanley Cup playoffs, only to reveal everything after they get eliminated or after the entire tournament is done? Yeah, I was playing with a broken rib. Yeah, that guy had this, that, and the other thing. It's like, okay, yeah, we understand that a lot of these coaches and players don't necessarily tell the truth all the time. They want to portray a bravado level of healthiness and sustainability in these tournament games whilst the playoffs are going on. But with that in mind, I wanted to shift the gears over to a different conversation about Connor McDavid. These are honestly kind of terrifying comments for the Florida Panthers. Connor McDavid said a few days ago, after game number 5 versus Dallas, that the Oilers have been building and building and building their game. And McDavid thinks that they're starting to see some of their best hockey. I thought tonight, Game 5, not so much. Our best hockey is still in front of us, which is a great thing. This guy is straight up going out there and saying, yeah, we haven't even reached our final form, baby. Whew, man. If that's not a warning, a chilling message, spine-tingling commentary from Connor McDavid for the Florida Panthers, if that doesn't get their spidey senses tinkling even just a little bit, then I don't know what will. Sure, Connor McDavid isn't going on Mark Messier here. We will win. He's not guaranteeing anything. But the narratives just write themselves, man. McDavid, the reigning Conn Smythe winner, after clawing his way back, after putting his team on his back, after scoring all the points he had done last year in the Stanley Cup Finals and otherwise, after being in a spot to lead his team, back-to-back 4-point games, a 40-point playoff run, to do all that, win the Conn Smythe, and still lose the Cup Final in 7 games, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, just their body language, just the way they seem to be handling all of this pressure and intensity, they're cool as a cucumber here. They are just going along, chugging along, winning their games. They're doing what needs to be expected out of them. Ever since that little look that they had to each other on the bench in Game 1 against the Dallas Stars, they've been lights out. And the team has been lights out. The Oilers have that depth. They have that defense. If Stuart Skinner can just hold out a little bit longer, if he can just continue being that guy for the next few weeks here, then the Oilers might very well come away with the Stanley Cup this time around. Look, man, it's boring to have back-to-back champions against the same team. I wasn't around as a hockey fan in 08 and 09 when the Red Wings and the Penguins had their back-to-back series, but I wouldn't be surprised if folks were cheering more so for Pittsburgh the second time around, just because the drama of having a revenge story here is probably a lot more interesting than to see a dynasty establish itself in the Florida Panthers organization, making the finals for the third year in a row and potentially winning the cup for the second year in a row. And besides, a lot of the projections Dom Lucian's model for The Athletic, they all have Florida winning the Stanley Cup anyway. Barely as well, I shall say. It's not like a landslide. A lot of these models are really dead center, but maybe 45-55 type territory. So with that in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about all this information and commentary about Connor McDavid? How do you feel about him leaving practice earlier today? And do you think that is really something that we should be talking about? Do you think it's worth the discussion here? What are your thoughts on Connor McDavid saying that the best Oilers hockey is yet to come? That, I think, is the craziest thing out there. Not even to say that, oh yeah, we've been playing well, this and that. It's straight up saying, yeah, we can play better. This isn't even our final form. Game 1, as we had said, it's on Wednesday, so we will keep our eyes peeled to be watching what happens during this contest. If the Oilers come out and they win 1 out of the first 3 games, like, we already know they can come back from being down 3-0. If they just get at least a win in the first 2 or 3 games, I think we have ourselves a very entertaining series. So with that in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this British Ashros 99, and bye.